To today's presentation. So we're talking about remote working skills with PowerPoint. So how to make presentations effectively from far away to other people who are not around you. And we're doing this by the capacity specialists, and my name is David Benaim. I'm an MVP. I'll explain what that is in a little bit. So when you are giving a live presentation, you have someone who is standing in front of the room and then all the audience is over here sort of watching it. However, it's very easy for people to get distracted. And this is something that we tend to see quite a lot. So what happens is, maybe one person will start to think about the shopping that they have to do later in the week. And then as time goes on, if the presenter isn't that engaging, then other people might just throw their heads in the clouds and think about the task list they have to do, or maybe all the things they have to do with their kids. And it just takes up more and more time and gets distracted. And eventually, unfortunately, with regular presentations, everyone's head, everyone's brain goes partially up into the clouds. And so they're a little bit with you, but a lot of their brain is up in the clouds. And this is when you're doing it live. If you're an effective presenter, you can use certain baits on your screen to bring people's brains back. And there are lots of really good techniques for that. However, when people are working from home and your audience is in a completely different place, then different rules apply, because someone can just pick up their mobile phone and start texting their friend, and you won't even know as the presenter. Someone might do all sorts of other things, just go online, open up a Word document, check an email. So there is a different kind of level of engaging participants, and that is something that's worth exploring. However, on the flip side, there's also some things that you can do because you are using things remotely that you're not able to do in the normal setting. So we're going to talk about that as well. But before I continue, I just want to point out this. Do you see how this is just really slick, the way it moves from slide to slide like that? It's almost like a video-like sequence that I'm completely controlling. And this is an entirely new presentation experience that almost no one has ever seen. This is using PowerPoint's More feature, which is something that I think is absolutely fantastic. And these things here, although they may look like regular pictures, they are so much more than that. They're called icons. And you can completely change the color to match anything that you want and guide your users through this seamless experience. And that is because PowerPoint in 2020 is so much better than PowerPoint from 2015, from 2010, from 2018 as well. It just keeps getting better, and I'm going to showcase a lot of these very cool new features during today. So we're going to start off with finding content, then putting content together, final steps before you go up on stage, and then actually giving the talk. Then what happens after the talk, something I call Netflix for presentations, and then we'll get to the finish line as well. So let's get going. Finding content. There's a cat that doesn't want you to find some content. A little bit about me before we move on. So my name is David Benaim, and I have a YouTube channel, and I'm getting about 14,000 views per month. And I just had to change the slide because when I gave this presentation or a similar presentation 2 weeks ago, this number said 12. And when I gave it about 5 weeks ago, this number said 10K views per month. So my views are massively increasing week on week. You can subscribe to my channel if you want loads of content on PowerPoint, Excel, Microsoft Teams, Zoom, SharePoint, Outlook, Google Sheets. I have loads of videos. I release about 2 a week. So, and they are kind of shorter videos, a lot shorter than these longer webinars. So please feel free to join, particularly if there's something that you see today and you want to review later on in kind of a short snippet, then check out my YouTube as well. So I am a chartered accountant from the UK. I'm also a Microsoft partner in a few different ways. The Microsoft YouTube channel is actually showcasing my videos, which is pretty awesome. And they also made me an MVP recently, which puts me in like the top 100 Excel and PowerPoint users in the world. I even have weekly calls in my calendar with the people who are developing the software within Microsoft. So they're constantly asking me and other MVPs for our opinion on where the product should go in future, which is pretty awesome. I've seen stuff that's coming to PowerPoint in 1 month's time, in 6 months' time, even in 2 years' time. And I'm not allowed to share what that is, but I'm going to show you a couple of things coming soon that I am allowed to share. I've done training with over 1,800 people, mostly in Cambodia and with the capacity specialists. And we do training courses on PowerPoint and presenting skills. That's really, really popular. We do another one on Excel. And we have remote working stuff as well. And I run a consulting firm called Excel Consulting here. And we've worked with over 120 organizations as well. Now, you'll notice that my introduction was not my first slides. And that is a mistake that so many presenters make, because your first slides are really when you engage the audience. And I'm sorry to say, but you are not that interesting. Get them to log in, get them to wow, feel wow with the first statement you make. And that is going to engage them and listen to the rest. So many presenters do it the wrong way around, and they say, hello, welcome. I have worked with 200 different organizations and our company works in 20 different countries. That's not important. What's important is how you can engage your audience. All right. So getting images. Let's look at some tricks that most people don't know. So most people know that you can go into Google Images and let's say you want an elephant. You can go into images here. Nothing spectacular there. But what almost no one has ever done is clicked on the tools button. This is amazing. Everyone should use this all the time. I use it 20 times a day when I'm creating PowerPoints. Look what you can do. Color, transparent. What does that mean? It means when you load one up, you get this checkerboard symbol. You can copy image. Then you can go into a PowerPoint slide and you can paste it. And you'll see that there's no background between the image. And so this looks very, very clean on your computer. Other useful things in here, you can go to size large. This is really great if you want to make sure that it looks really crisp on a PowerPoint slide. You can go to type and choose GIF if you want to get animated images. So just to show you what that's like, here is a GIF image, comes from GIF Finder, a third party. If I right click and copy that and then paste it into my PowerPoint, it's a little bit hard to see if it's worked because it doesn't actually start auto playing until you go to slideshow mode. So if I go to slideshow mode of that slide, this one, then it is auto playing. I use GIFs sparsely and videos sparsely. I use them to introduce each section. I don't use them when I'm speaking because if someone is watching a video or a GIF, they're not listening to you. So that is pretty important there. So that is really useful. In images, you can go to color and choose transparent. You also have usage rights and you can choose labeled for reuse. This is an example of a transparent image, and avoid something like this, which is not reusable because these are stock photos. If you see this kind of watermark, these symbols behind it, kind of semi-transparent, that probably means you're not allowed to use the photo because you have to pay for it. But This is really awesome because this brand new feature just got released, I kid you not, 2 weeks ago. I love this. So excited to show you this. Insert, pictures, stock images. PowerPoint has stock images, thousands of them, directly inside PowerPoint. High quality stock images. Let's go for train. So here are some train ones. Notice how there's stuff that you might use in a presentation with a lot of white space that you can type in content. So it uses train to mean either training, or it uses train to mean an actual train. So it is useful to go for these ones that have, you know, very vague kind of imagery, but they allow you to sort of have all this empty space where you can write your text and formulate that well. So I do still use Google Images for transparent images. Transparent images are just so good. However, when it comes to stock photos and anything that's a full screen image, now I just resort to this. It's just fantastic. Do you guys like that feature? Type in wow if you love stock images. Now, what I will say is that they're only available if you have the newest version of PowerPoint. Like any software, PowerPoint updates regularly. So people come to me and they're like, I don't see this feature. I have PowerPoint 2010. Well, I'm sorry, but if you have a PowerPoint version that is older than the world's first ever iPad, you don't have the cool new stuff. So I don't know. If you are interested in how you can get access to that, then let me know. You want to know which version you have, click on File, and then Account. And then here, I have Microsoft 365 subscription product. Now you might see PowerPoint 2010, 2016 here, and that means you don't get the latest update. And here it says that I have version 2006, that's 2020, the 6th month, which is June. I in particular have an early release. I have an Office Insider release. Most people don't have that. But if you see 2005, then you will have this feature. Otherwise, you can click Update Now as long as you have Microsoft 365. Final point is you might be on a different track that only releases updates semi-annually, twice a year. Even if you're on 3 subscription product, that's dependent on how your company has set it. But yeah, if you don't have it, you can really genuinely get this product for like about $6 a month. So I can't remember the exact pricing, but that is pretty much it. The other stuff that I really like is these things here. So these are icons that PowerPoint treats like shapes, even though they are kind of pictures. In the graphic design world, we call these vector images. And the beauty is you can just get them to completely change color. So you can get it to match any other color in your slides, get it to match your logo, all things like that are really useful for it. You can also get those within stock images, or if you have a slightly older version, you'll see an icons button over here. That works as well. You can go to icons. There's 2 other things here. So let me just, again, you have search, but let me just insert a few of them. They're called graphics. Right now they're black. That's why I don't see it, because it's black on black, but I could change the color, add an outline. I normally do add an outline. It looks more sophisticated if you do like this. And yeah, from here you can then sort of change it to anything you want. I love these icons. Probably the most underused feature of PowerPoint. Now, I realize not everyone has this version, and that's why I'm giving you guys an offer. So I actually have about 600 of these icons that I made myself that can work for absolutely everyone. Even if you have PowerPoint 2003, you can use these icons. So PowerPoint treats them like shapes. Again, you can change the color. You can do absolutely anything. That comes with something that I call the PowerPoint recipe book. So here I have all these icons. And if you want access to this, then I can send you a copy for free. If you just send me an email I'll write my email in the chat window, or you can send an email to TCS as well. And only if you subscribe to my YouTube channel. So if you do both of those things, if you like content, then you probably want this PowerPoint recipe book, and therefore you probably want to get more updates on what's coming. All right. So with that, let's go into a quiz question. Now, what I'm going to do in the next one is I'm going to throw this up on the screen. I gave you a quick survey before, and I want to show you surveys because that is something that I think is a really crucial way to engage your audience when you're doing it online. So here I have a QR code. You can scan that and then answer the quiz question. It's just one question. I'll also paste this into the chat window. So please, can you guys just answer that quick survey question? And then we'll go from there. Got a few wows there. I like that. Yo, I did have a comment saying I'm not having a clear voice. Are there any other issues with the voice? Let me know if it's not clear, and I'm using a special microphone for this, but sometimes it's hard to manage exactly what the sound is, or I can change a few settings. So let me know if there is something that you want there. Oh. There's the link I just emailed. And the QR code is there as well, if you want to know how to get it. So I'll give you a minute or two to answer that. And I'll go over the links. Here is where I got the data from. So I really like this statistic. It's one of my favorite statistics when I show this in class. All right, we've had 3 responses. Other people can keep trickling that through. I'm going to show you how to make this. This is using Microsoft Forms. Now we've had way more. Wow. Okay, not 3. 3 wouldn't give it the subdenomination. 7 there. Yeah. So the human brain absorbs images faster than text, but how much? We had most people saying between 6 and 60 times faster. Well, let me show you, because this is absolutely fantastic. Click on this link and I can show you the live link to it as well. Picture is worth 60,000 words. That's right. The human brain, the brain processes images 60,000 times faster than text. Isn't that crazy? So if you're putting text in your slides, you're asking your audience to work 60,000 times more in order to listen to your content. Use images, and in particular, icons are the best way to spread ideas. So yeah, I really like that, and I will show you how this is there. It's really good in general when you are presenting remotely to not just use PowerPoint, but also use this kind of experience where you go into other applications or websites, sources for your work, like I've just shown you here. And that is an advantage that you can do when you're not live presenting, because you're sitting at your computer and you have a lot more control over what's going on. All right. So just to show you some of that reaction, let's play a game. So what I want you to do is I'm going to have a certain number of dots on the screen, and I want you to just count the dots. So count the dots and yeah, just see how that goes. So we're going to do this once. You ready? All right, just count the dots. So that takes the average person about 2 seconds to count how many dots there are. There's 10 dots there. That takes about 2 seconds. We're going to do it a second time. You ready? Now that takes the average person a little bit less. That is 1.2 seconds. So there's fewer dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That takes 1.2 seconds. we're going to do it one last time. Are you ready? Whoa, did you get that? That takes the average person 0.2 seconds to count these dots. Now, isn't that crazy? I've just gone down from 7 to 5, and yet it's 6 times faster from 1.2 to 0.2 seconds. Now, let me throw this to you in another way. Maybe with this setting, you're having to physically count them like I was doing, but with this setting, you just see them, they're just there. And that is to do with how the human brain learns. In fact, a lot of research has been done to how the human brain learns, and that is very much consistent with presentation skills. Now, what is going on here? I'll explain that in a second, but first let me show you how this translates into your slides. So you should always have a maximum of 6 objects per slide. Don't have more. More was this. This is 5, 6 is still okay. You still see them with 6, but any more, and people have to count things. Their brain is working much, much harder to get to the output. Now, what does an object mean? An object could be a slide title like this. It could be a 2 to 3 word phrase, and a picture is an object, and an image caption is another object. Your brain that has been evolving for billions of years is not smart enough to know the difference between a caption and another phrase. It doesn't combine this with the image. Now, an image, as I say, could be constituted to be more than one object. For example, this is quite clearly 4 objects. This is a very chaotic image where there's a lot going on, that here you have a lot happening and it takes your audience to absorb longer to absorb it, unless you want them just to focus on the biggest picture items. And these two are similar. When you have text and images that also counts as regular text, your brain can't tell the difference, whether it's typed or whether it's text in an image. So try to avoid that where you can. So what's okay and what's not? This is good. This is a header, 2 images and 2 captions, 5 objects. Or I love this. This is a beautiful full screen image with some text on the side. Stock images are great for this. There's loads of tricks. In fact, in the PowerPoint recipe book, you get these kind of tricks to be able to read text over images. This is not okay. This is 7, and this is just how your average business slide looks like, unfortunately, just text, boring text. Now, do you see how good these icons are? I have 0 words on this slide, but the icons say it all. And this is what most presenters do not use. So the perfect slide, to put it into more rules, maximum of 15 words per slide, maximum of 3 pictures or icons in a slide, and maximum of 6 objects. Your font size, don't make it smaller than 30. People in the back of the room might not be able to see if you do. This I love. This is a beautiful full screen image with some text on the side, right? And the color of the text matches the teeth, the most prominent color in the image. If you want to know how to make this, it's on my YouTube channel. It's not that hard, actually. So this is explaining the reason why we pick up 6 objects or less. It's to do with one part of the brain called the iconic memory. The iconic memory is one of 3 parts of memory: long-term memory, short-term memory, iconic memory. And the third one allows us to quickly look around and identify predators, identify who's trying to kill us. And that is why it's super important to be able to pick up very quickly in 1/100th of a second a small number of objects. And that is what you're doing if you have very little in your slide. And that is why I highly encourage. So, putting content together. Wow, he's a bit angry. Before I move on, do you like this thing? This is a special PowerPoint feature. Not only is it a menu or a summary of my slide, but it's a navigation tool. I can go from here to here. I can go from here to here. See how seamless that is? I can decide live as I'm presenting which section to go through. Another new feature in modern PowerPoint that most people have no idea exists. show you how to do that in a sec. But first, let me show you some classic things. It's available in all PowerPoint versions that most people don't know exist. So going back into my slide, let's say you want to reformat text. So a lot of people know that you can click on this paintbrush, the format painter, and then apply it to other text. What most people don't know is that it can do way more than that. So you have this one, you can actually double click on the format painter and then apply here, apply here, apply here, go to another slide, apply there. Do you like that? If you do, tell me wow, if you didn't know that feature. The format painter can be double clicked in Excel, Word, PowerPoint, Outlook, all of your favorite apps. There's even a shortcut if you want to do that faster. I never use this because I use the shortcut. Copy formats is what the format painter does. So the shortcut for copy formats is Control-Shift-C, which is a little bit more than Control-C for copy. Control-Shift-V is paste formats. This works in Excel, in PowerPoint, Word, but unfortunately not Excel. So Control-Shift-C, V is copy paste formats. Got a lot of wows. Nice. I like this. Cool. Some other stuff. So other stuff you can do with the format painter. It also works with loads of other objects. I can click it there, click on another shape, double click it, go to multiple other shapes of text boxes, and it takes those formats. I can do it to some picture formatting that I've applied. I've made this black and white and given it this border. Double click that, apply the same to these other pictures. Another trick that people often don't know is alignment. So you probably realize that you can move things and you get these kind of red lines to tell you if it's aligned, but even that is not so fast. Here's what you can do. You can select some text, some objects. Many people don't know you can lasso select things. This same feature just came to Power BI this morning, like brand new release, lasso select. I'm really excited for it. In fact, I stayed up till 2 a.m. last night to watch all the new stuff that's come out of Power BI. So if I'm a little bit tired today, apologies for that. I did actually stay up till 1:32 a.m. last night for the conference in Seattle. So you can select objects like this, and then you can go to Arrange, Align, and Align Top, like this. Really good for multiple ones. And you can also go Arrange, Align, and Distribute horizontally to get equal spacing between all those objects. This works with images, shapes, icons, videos, anything you want, like that. In Arrange and Align, this is so underused. I can't tell you how much time this saves in general. If you like that, let me know with a wow comment. All right. The other thing that I showed you, the first thing that I got you excited for was this feature that allows this video-like transition between your slides. Now, if I go here and I duplicate the slide, so right-click, duplicate slide, I can sort of rotate these, make it smaller, change the color, make this one bigger. I can also do that to an icon. I can also, change the font to something else like that, make the text bigger. And then if I go to the transitions tab, I have this thing called morph. How cool is that? Did you see that? All I did was apply this morph and it knows your start and your end point. And it does this seamless video-like beautiful transition between the slides. I love the morph feature because it creates an entirely new presentation experience for your audience. Storytelling, every presenter says storytelling is paramount. What better way to storytell with this frame-by-frame video-like seamless sequence like the one I showed you right at the beginning. This is available in PowerPoint 2019 or later versions. So to be honest, I think this is just the best thing that PowerPoint has done in so long. Although stock images, might be able to beat that. They just came out like 2 weeks ago, so I'm still processing just how awesome they are. By the way, stock images are not just in PowerPoint, they're also available in Word and Excel. So in the same place. I wouldn't use them as much in Word and Excel. I have used icons before, but you can go to the Insert tab and choose stock images in the same way. You have two other things. I don't use cutout people and stickers as much, but I did just last night launch a video explaining these three. And 2 weeks ago, I launched my stock images video, basically as soon as it got released, because I was so excited by it. Slide zoom. So this is the sequence that I showed you of being able to go to this and click to either this one, or however you want to navigate your slides. You can do all sorts of other things with zoom, with slide zoom. It's in the Insert tab. Nothing to do with the Zoom that we're doing this webinar on. It's called slide zoom. And what that allows you to do is change from a traditional linear sequence of a slideshow into something that's more dynamic. So to show you this with a morph storytelling and icons that are color matching, you can go from a traditional 1, then 2, then 3, then 4 into, you can go from 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 4. Fantastic if you're running out of time or if you just want to give the audience a direction to go. It's non-linear. God, do you see how great that morph feature was, right? For linear storytelling. It's fantastic. I love it. And Zoom is another really cool addition that allows a similar thing. So best use cases for Zoom. Which strategy should we do? Are we running out of time? Or a table of contents? Again, look how seamless these icons are because they are icons. These are not difficult images for me to find that don't color match. These are perfect, professional looking vector images. All right, final steps before you present. Whilst you're training for stuff, you don't want to fall down at the last hurdle like that guy does. Notice again, I use my GIFs between slides. I don't use them in other instances. All right, now, if you think what you've seen so far is cool, you are gonna love this stuff. This is game changing. So PowerPoint just launched this thing called a presentation coach. Let me show you that. Now this uses PowerPoint online for now. I can go to any presentation. I'm going to go to this current one, for example, and I'm going to go to slideshow. I'm going to choose rehearse with coach. So this is if I haven't got anyone, because I'm remote working, so I haven't got anyone to help me rehearse the presentation. I'm going to do this using an AI-enabled coach. I'm going to say start rehearsing, and it's going to listen to what I'm saying. So welcome to my presentation. Here I'm going to talk very quickly about these concepts, and these are very important for you to understand. But if you don't know what's going on, then please listen to what's happening, because this is, you see that? It tells me that I'm speaking too fast. All right, so as we go to the next section, it doesn't like the, like using all these filler words. You see that? It's blocked me from there. It's giving me that feedback. Well, what do you guys think about this? Is this something that you guys would find useful? Ah, you see that? It doesn't like you guys because it's sensitive phrase. So it gives you all this kind of background. And as you move through your slides, notice my beautiful morph to tell this story with my icons as brains and people. And it just makes it lovely. Let's do some other stuff. We are going to talk about the manpower needed to make this work. Again, manpower might be offensive. Maybe I'm going to give this presentation for gays. The gays in the world are going to love this. You see, it doesn't like that either. All right, so let's exit out of slideshow mode and get my report. Look how great this is. It shows me my average pace. It shows me my pitch. This keeps getting better. I can't tell you how much this has improved. It got released about 6 months ago, but this just came in recently. Sensitive phrases, it has that. Summary of what I've done, my pace over time in this beautiful line chart with where my optimal is. what fillers I've used. If I want to learn more about why it's bad to be monotone, I can click there and get suggestions. And this, if you think this is good now, more improvements, keep updating. It right now only supports English, but they've said it's going to support other languages as well. So yeah, isn't that cool? You can do that from PowerPoint Online. Now, how do you get to PowerPoint Online? Go to a web browser and just search for PowerPoint Online, like this. Now, it does require you to sign in. So you can either use a work account if you have a PowerPoint work account. That's just not loading here for some reason. But if you don't have one, you can create an account for free, a personal Microsoft account. It's no more difficult than creating a Google or a Facebook account. And then you get taken to this menu here. So if you have a presentation that you want to rehearse with PowerPoint Online, you just sort of navigate to that, and then you can just sort of drag that into this, and it's uploading it. And then when it's done, you just open it up. PowerPoint Online is a way to edit slides like in PowerPoint Desktop. It hasn't got all the functionality, so I definitely do my editing in desktop. However, there's some stuff that you can only do online, and that is, for example, this stuff. So slideshow mode, and then you can click Rehearse with Coach here. Another thing that's coming very soon to slideshow mode is even more awesome. So I'm going to show you a quick video of that because I don't have access to it. I'm going to optimize share for full screen video clip and share computer sound as well. Something you should do if you are using Zoom for this. I'm going to show you this video. So this is part from my YouTube channel, although I just kind of took an element from a Microsoft one.
Giving presentations is crucial for educators, businesses, everyone. It can be one of the most important things you do. So you need all the help you can get. Live presentations in PowerPoint lets you engage with your audience better than ever before. When you start presenting, a QR code or URL lets the audience connect. This unlocks new features where they can follow along with the deck, navigate on their own, get back to the current slide quickly, and enable real-time captions or subtitles in their preferred language. Anyone in the crowd can review or follow along with what you're saying, aunque no hables el lenguaje. As you're presenting, you can see how many people have joined the live presentation. The audience can provide live reactions, which shows you how your presentation is being perceived, letting you adjust on the fly. After you finish presenting, the audience is prompted to provide their feedback on how you did, so you can focus on areas to improve. These features will help make your presentations more engaging and create a closer connection between you and your audience, giving you confidence to present better than you ever have before. Engage with your audience using live presentations in PowerPoint.
Wow, isn't that awesome? I'm so excited for this feature, and I was really hoping, they announced this in February, I was really hoping that before I would give this webinar, that would be released and I could demo it for you and actually have you guys doing it whilst I'm presenting it. But yeah, I'm so excited for this feature, PowerPoint Live. It did talk about subtitles and translations, and that I can actually show you. In slideshow mode, okay, it's disabled because I'm in a slideshow now, but I'm going to click on always use subtitles and speak in French, and you can choose speaking language up to 12 and return language up to 60. Let's see what that looks like. It's not working very well, I think, because I'm logged into Zoom, so my microphone is being used by Zoom and not by PowerPoint, but normally it does work quite well. Let's try one more time. It's it's using the hijacked microphone, but I guarantee you it works. And all you have to do is always use subtitles and do the setting. Also said I was going to do forms. So applications like Zoom, if you have the paid version, allows you to do inside polls. Otherwise, you can use Google Forms, or Microsoft has a Forms feature as well, which is very similar to Google, which does this. It's super easy. If you are a Microsoft person, then you can just go here and choose Forms. And you can just create a new form. Just add some questions like this. And then just post it here. If you're using Microsoft Teams, then you can just share it with people and copy that link, or click this to get the QR code, which is what I did earlier as well. And then when people do results, here's what it looks like. So over here, this is the results of the first one. I have people who present weekly and monthly is the most common. It puts it into charts automatically for you, which is great. And this is the ranking question, making beautiful slides and getting the audience to remember. This is what people are trying to go for. So I'm going to encourage that. The other interactivity thing that I used was this game where you had to count the dots. Those kind of things can be quite good. There are also other third-party applications like Kahoot is a good one for doing these kind of games from afar. I really like that as well. All right. Okay. My subtitles, and take that. Going to go very quickly through the last two, so giving the talk. So screen sharing. Screen sharing is something that I'm using for this. And what I will say is that IT tech people like me do screen share all the time and have been doing it for years. Basically, if anyone wants to have a meeting with me, I just share my screen. Even if we're talking about a Word document, even if we're talking about an Excel file, just share the screen with people so everyone can see it at the same time and knows exactly what you're doing. Don't call using your phone, call using Zoom or Teams or Google Meets and share your screen. The way to do that is, it's pretty obvious. You can click on share like this. And then you can choose to share your screen, a whiteboard, then other people can type in things automatically, or you can share a certain thing. If you share a PowerPoint only, then people will only see the PowerPoint, they won't see other things. I personally prefer sharing my entire screen because it allows me to be flexible in what I show and do this other demo as well. Whiteboard can be quite fun. So yeah, this allows you to share something that people annotate. Zoom has this, Teams has this. In fact, all of you guys can go to, you can go to annotate up here and you can get this and also start typing things. So you can start typing text here. Can anyone see that? How to annotate this from within their Zoom?
Nhà hồi nãy mới bón to internet computer bón hết đi mà chứ internet cho anh nữa.
All right, so this is a way that you can get interactive stuff. Going to stop sharing that one and then reshare my other screen. Other stuff that is useful when you are presenting, always keep an eye on your mobile. So your mobile phone is a way that you can communicate with people who are, if you have like a co-presenter or a training or an assistant, people can sort of just summarize the chat for you in a chat message. I find that really useful rather than me as the presenter having to go through all the chats. There's loads of stuff that the mobile can be used for. If you have notes in here as well, it's really good. Just keep that on the side. And zooming in is so useful. So you can zoom in from a PC by pressing the Windows key and the plus button. that opens up this application called Magnifier. You can, sort of shrink that. You don't need to see that, but it just allows you to zoom and navigate to different parts of your screen. Really, really useful to direct users, particularly when you're doing a demo style presentation like this, rather than just a set of slides. Zooming in with Windows plus, zoom out with Windows minus. I can't tell you how many times I use this. There's a Mac equivalent as well, I believe. Yeah. And you have also within PowerPoint, you have the ability to record your screen. So if you go to the Insert tab, you have this thing called screen recording. This creates a video of what you're doing, which logs everything gives you a countdown there, logs every application you're showing, whether it's an internet browser, whether it's back to your PowerPoint slide, whatever it may be, this logs everything. And this allows you to be able to see whatever it is that you want to see with no issues there. So yeah, when you're done, you can press stop. And then if I go back to my PowerPoint, I can see that this is the video. See that? And if you want to, you can right click on that and choose Save Media As and just export it as an MP4 file wherever you want to export it. Then you can upload to YouTube and do other things. Now, I'm more sophisticated. I have a YouTube, so I have my own applications to do that. But there are other ways to do that. Another really important thing, how to be able to type live in slideshow mode. So let's say you're taking audience suggestions, and this could be live or it could be something else. Then you or even your training assistant could actually type live here. So as people are speaking, you're not leaving slideshow mode and you're typing suggestions here. It's just invaluable if you're doing teaching, if you're doing other things, and I highly value this skill. Again, if you want to get a copy of this, if you subscribe to my YouTube channel and send me an email, actually I'll write my email in the chat window right now. Then I will, sorry, david@excelconsultingasia.com. Or also if you let TCS know, if you do this and you subscribe to YouTube, then I can send you this. This is in the PowerPoint recipe book that you can just kind of take this and copy and paste it. If you really want to know how to build it from scratch, then I have a YouTube video explaining it. But I generally just copy and paste it because it's quite a few times to do it. Some other things that are important when you are sort of presenting. Just put the window there. So here I am. So you can have a corporate backdrop to give people information about who you are. I have a YouTube video explaining how to build this. It's like choosing a virtual background, but then I talk about how best to build it, what color scheme to use, and how to get it kind of working well and not have this halo around you. You can do it in Teams as well. And another thing is lighting. So if I switch off my light, it looks like that. This is the light behind me. This is the light in front and behind me, kind of a weird thing. Or try and go for what's the optimal, which I think is the light in front of you and not behind you. When you are screen sharing, you do have these options in Zoom. In Teams, you only have share computer sound. If you're playing a video, use both of these. Definitely as you go along. Again, I know I'm showing a lot of things, but that's what the video is for afterwards. Final thing, Netflix for meetings. So, now, I know what you're thinking. If you can't be bothered to sit through a presentation, then why are you going to have the energy to sit through a video of an hour-long presentation? And this is what typically happens. People may record a video, but it's not really very fun for people to sit through a 1-hour talk. Like, they don't want to do that. And often they don't have to, because there is tech that can avoid this. Now, people, when they watch videos, they like YouTube, which is, 5-minute snippets, very quick, to the point. They don't want to sit through the video. And that is why when you record a video, well, you can record it with PowerPoint, as I showed you. But if you use Microsoft Teams to do presentations, it gives you that extra feature. So Teams is a lot like, let me just launch it here. It is a lot like Zoom or Google Hangouts. You can just have a meeting. It also provides loads of chat stuff. I love Teams. It's great. It's kind of like halfway between email and WhatsApp, plus meetings, plus file storage, all in one place. And everyone finds it really easy to use. So if I am in a meeting in Teams, I can click here, share. I can choose include system audio, choose which window to share, a whiteboard here as well. If you share PowerPoint from Teams and other apps, then people can actually go to a previous slide as well, which is quite cool. But that's not what I want to show you. What I want to show you is how to start recording. So I record like that. You can record with Zoom and Google Hangouts as well, and then it records your screen if you share the screen, etc. Records who else is speaking, all that other stuff. And then when you stop recording, Teams will put that in a chat window here. It's made a chat of all that window. And it also says recording has stopped, saving to Microsoft Stream. You also have meeting notes. This is great. Anyone can edit a meeting note and that automatically gets shared with anyone in the meeting. You can share files as well directly there. There's a lot of stuff that Zoom does better. There's a lot of stuff that Teams does better. I love both. I use them for different instances. And yeah, if you want more data, you can look at that. So what is Microsoft Stream? I have a version here. Now, so Stream is kind of like a YouTube for your organization. So here is all the stuff that, all the videos that have been recorded. And here it automatically transcribes it. So if I want to fast forward, show you what that feature does later. It's pretty cool. To somewhere else like this, just sort of type something in my chat. You can get it to show me there. You can do so a couple of hidden, and it's searchable. This is fantastic. So if you want to search for things like, I don't know, video, you just search for it. It searches through your entire video, through the text, and then you can get it to play from that point in the video onwards. So imagine how useful this is. You could search for your name. You could search for the name of the project you're working on and just get a quick, in 10 minutes, a summary of a 2-hour meeting. You can even edit, or the person who's doing the meeting can edit certain captions if they don't think that the transcript has been good enough. Super easy to use. Continue this way, save, and get it to replay. You can reply. You also have interactivity. So part way through a video, you can add a form, which is really useful, right? You can have a, did you comprehend that? Or what do you can have a follow-up like, oh, so I just presented 3 strategies. Which strategy do you prefer and why? Add a form, and that links to Microsoft Forms over here. This is available for anyone who is using Microsoft Office 365 and has access to Teams. How do you get to it when this stops? So there's a webinar I did for Smart, for example, yesterday, and the meeting, all the chat is there, but also the meeting is here as well, and I can click to play it. You can also do a whole load of other things as well there. Okay. But video is just never going to stop. Video is going to become more and more prominent in everything that we do. Soon you'll be able to have videos, like this is a concept like a pie chart. Someone can click this video that explains why this is 6%. This explains why this is that. If you're doing comments, I already do this manually. If I'm reviewing a document that one of my employees writes and I want to leave a comment, I don't just write it, but I explain a video as to why they did it and how to get that to work, particularly if it's using software. That was the demo that I already did. And the finish line now. So summarizing, I covered Google image search tricks. Remember, you can filter for usage rights, for transparency, for a large image, and built into Microsoft Office 365, you also have these beautiful, amazing stock images. You also have icons. If you want the icons that I've built, then I can email you the file if you're using an older version of PowerPoint. I showed you how to use the format painter with double click, use it on images, and alignment tricks are really useful. Presentation coach, before you go up on stage, that is using PowerPoint online. Anyone can create an account. If you don't remember the steps, check out my YouTube. I have basically all of these as videos and transcribed presentations as well. Transcribing is fantastic. It just means that you can get to the crux of what your presentation was very, very quickly without having to replay the entire thing. I am offering free help during the COVID-19 crisis with remote working. So I've done a ton of free webinars, public, internal, inside organizations. I showed you I did one for Smart 2 days ago. If you are interested in this, then I am happy to do a free consultation or a free webinar just to help organizations through. I've been using this technology on remote working for years, and I can show you the cool stuff that can really get people working better. Or you can just follow me on YouTube, or my Twitter handle as well is in my thumbnail as well here. And here's a QR code to scan directly to my YouTube. Wow, that was fast, wasn't it? I'm sorry, I showed you too many things too fast. And this is exactly why we need Netflix for presentations. This is why we need people to be able to recap, but not have to replay the entire video. Just play, search for whichever thing that you need, and you can get to it faster. And that is available within recording meetings within Teams. All right, so that is the end of the talk. And let's open it up to some questions.